Alright everyone, it is I, Schroeder Jackson Valentine, and today we are going to be doing two things. Well, first up, I have an unfortunate announcement to make. There's a reason this stream is labeled as Super Scuff, my friends, and that is that unfortunately my monitoring phone that I use for monitoring literally all the shit that happens on stream, it's dead. Um, or at least the charger is. Meaning that, in other words, I cannot do jack shit when it comes to streaming for the most part, and I have to push back most of the other streams for next week. Which, yeah, that kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. But hey, at least we could, cover Memphis Village a little bit and take a walk through there while also talk about this. So yeah. In other words, going forward, all those Honkai streams I had planned for this week, all those other streams I had planned for this week, they are all, um, they are all moved to next week, just simply because, without my phone, I cannot monitor what the fuck's going on. And if I can't monitor, my stream from a dummy viewer or dummy terminal to make sure that everything's going all right, then, yeah, I can't really stream. Or at least not very well. I can stream as shown right here, but stream well? Yeah, that's out of the question. Albeit if you consider what I'm doing streaming well in the first place, which that's a little debatable, but you know. So yeah, it's just really sucky and really shady situation all around, and I'll be put out of commission for a little bit until I get everything straightened out again. Which luckily should not take long. It should not take long for me to have to, fix everything up and get my new phone charger and all that. It should be pretty simple. I mean, it will take a few days because, again, I live very remote. I do not live near any big cities. The closest town I live is, just as few stores, small strip mall, and that's about it. So, yeah, I am not in the position to, really get the charger quickly, but once it comes, then we'll be full speed ahead, and we'll be really just hitting it hard and streaming a lot more. So, yeah, let's get to this. Let's actually get to, the main thing, the main topic of this stream, which is Memphis Village. Which, by the way, is actually not the horrible one I thought it was. No, that is a different one. And that is actually, yeah, the really horrible, laggy one is actually Modern Sunset Square. And you'll get why I hate that one when you get into it. But Memphis Village, on the other hand, is actually alright. So, yeah, let's get into this and actually do it here. So, as you already can see, Memphis Village is actually the one that, yeah, Memphis Village is actually the one with the food court. It also has, a couple of shops that might be based on stores you know. Especially one of them here, especially one of them up on the second level, which is a direct replica of a store that I know all too well. And one that is very, very notable in the eyes of both the internet and 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 just the broader population in general. But yeah, more on what that is later. And like the rest of Palm Plaza Mall, it has a generally a vaporwave aesthetic that is very, very well done. Especially with just looking very colorful and just being quite a bit brighter than even the main plaza. The main plaza, it had a good vaporwave aesthetic too, but this just takes it to a whole new level, especially with the good textures and just the nice lighting and just all of that. Like that's one thing that Palm Plaza Mall had above even fucking as far as I know, even yeah, even Organism was just, the fact that it just could do lighting and good stack at the same time very well. And the fact that it was just very well done in terms of having high visual fidelity and actual, light probes, while also managing to be very, very, managing to have very good performance and just be a very good, just sort of hangout world and just be a good world in general. And that was the main thing here. Um, So yeah, that's pretty much those are pretty much the main points overall aesthetically wise. Um, Now another thing you'll notice is that, well, or rather not as impressive, however, are the huge gaping fucking holes in the ceiling. Like I know that they did not think of that when they built it, but that shit kind of matters to me because I kind of greatly value immersion. And that kind of breaks it. But then again, I haven't been to them all in a while, so that might be how they just closed it off as just a big clear window, and then you know, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. That might just be how they do it. However, here it becomes a lot more noticeable that this just wasn't very finished compared to the rest of the maps, and it was probably the last part to be built, in all honesty, or the last part to get made and somewhat completed before, all the shit went down with Sonic 00, which again, Sonic 00 is kind of like Flexa. A lot of people admire him, but yeah, wasn't such a great person, if you know what I mean. And him and Flux are definitely both in this category of you can admire them, but separate art from artist very, very extremely. And you have to really suspend. Hang on. Somebody was contacting me on Discord. Yeah, but I was saying, you really have to suspend your level of disgust quite a bit at what they've done. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about them. But yeah, this was the final part to be completed, I believe, before everything went down, because the last official Twitter post from Cake on this matter, if I could think back to 2021, was, announcing this part. So, yeah, I believe I'm correct in that. Because Sunset Square, Starlight, and everything else was finished far beforehand. So, yeah. But enough history talking. Let's get into the world itself. And yeah, it does have a full mirror, which, by the way, yes, you could have two mirrors. However, I'm not going to leave that on because I don't know if any of my clothes will disappear, and I do not want to have to private this VOD. So, yeah. Especially right now because, um, this is going to be the last stream for a week. So, if I am going to be, going out for a week, then I want to have to do it, just as scuff free as possible, even if that's extremely hard to do right now. But yeah, um, yeah. Kitty burger and large Henry. Now, large Henry's original interpretation was a lot more American in nature. It was not the Japanese food place it became known as in the newer updates or in the new remake of Palm Plaza Mall. Um, and so it was quite different. It was quite different from what we have now in terms of just being, in terms of overall theming, in terms of food it offers, in terms of everything else. And I think that was just more of like a creative decision because, as far as I know, the new one, Palm Plaza.exe, was like Fall oversaw it, but I don't think he actually like had any involvement in it. Um, as far as I'm concerned. I will say this: this court is a lot nicer than the one in the newer mall, but that's just me. And here you have the Golden Tiger, which, just like in the new one, was a Chinese food place and still is. And then Freddy Fun Buns Pizza, which, as I explained before, is a Freddy Fazbear reference and a FNAF reference by proxy. And this is also the first world we see Creamy Dreams appear. Now I believe they might have appeared in several other worlds too. I'm not sure of this, but I think they have. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but um, but yeah, before this, I don't think they were. Well, I think they were one, but I'm not so sure about that. This might have been like the first world to actually have them, and thus they might be like the newest fucking food place in the entirety of Palm Plaza lore, as far as I'm concerned. Um, Again, don't quote me on that, but yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyway. And and their purpose, much like Golden Tiger and Franny Fun Buns, has not changed in the new version at all. With Large Henry's being the only one that has changed, and I'm not really sure why that is. Again, I think it might be a creative decision, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And here we have a video store in the form of spinners. Not quite laser video, and you can't go inside it, but If they ever did open this up, it would have been pretty cool. Super Cake. Huh, it's a little game store. There's that weird fucking Power Drill Massacre game. Again. I always get a little freaked out when I see that. Not sure why. We have some old game consoles here. Some Wii's, some Nintendo 64s, GameCubes. I believe that's a fucking Sega Master System? What the fuck? Alright. And... What? What the fuck? Classic Godfall. Showing off, because if you guys don't know what this is, Dendy, I did not know what the fuck a Dendy was until after I played, Epilogue Chapter 1. But apparently what a Dendy is it is a Super Nintendo emulator built by a state-owned Russian company and Russia's biggest electronics company at the time that was basically meant to be a Super Nintendo emulator and allow people in Russia to play Super Nintendo games without, having to bypass all the weird import embargoes and sanctions that were going on with Russia at the time after, the collapse of the USSR, and the USSR was defeated by US in 1991. But, you know. So, yeah, that's pretty much what this was. And, it was just very, very, I really don't know too much about it. I'm imagining the CPU was some kind of copy of whatever CPU the Super Nintendo had. I believe it was from Sharp. It was some kind of a RISC CPU. I'm not so sure. I'm gonna have to look it up. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a copy, only because again Japan was very tentative with trade with Russia at the time, given that they just had the Cold War happened, and the Cold War ended, and so everyone's like, yeah, Russia, they aren't that bad anymore, but well, they still are bad and terrible and fucked up to this day. Let's be honest here. But things have tensions have sorta settled then, I guess. Um, so, but yeah, everyone's still very tentative and not exactly thrilled with the idea of trading with them. So, because of that, yeah, I imagine the CPU was a copy. But yeah, it was something really interesting that I just kind of wanted to talk about, only because I very rarely see one of these referenced, because they're not very well known outside of Russia. And whenever I see one of them in the world, I'm just like, um, I get a little surprised. But then again, um, given this map maker's nationality, should I really be that surprised? Or what I think is their nationality anyway? Should I be really that surprised? But that's beside the point, I guess. And there's also a Mia Fun Arcade, only a really big one. Much bigger than the main Plaza's one, and also has a working video player. Now, aside from the whole obvious DMCA issues and my what is my laptop doing? Hang on. And that's another thing I have to deal with. It's my laptop. There we go, all fixed. All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, other than the whole obvious issues of DMCA, uh, various other issues, um, there's also the whole issue of does this version of whatever video player they originally fitted this world out with still work for this world? And the answer is I don't really know. I have not tried to use it. I probably will not try using it anytime soon. And yeah, I'm probably not gonna try anything with it or even know if it will, actually work. So yeah. Coming soon. But yeah, this is a really good and really honestly the biggest instance of the Mia Fun Arcade in the entire map collection. Again, I have not been to Oasis or Dreams in a while, or even Starlight in a while, so maybe that will change. Maybe that is different. Who knows? But for now, this might be the biggest one in the entire mall until proven otherwise. Now, one thing that I do find bizarre, though, is the collision setup. Number one, the collisions only happen with certain arcade machines, something that was fixed in the later versions of the map and fixed in the final version, Palm Plaza.exe. And number two, the vending machines are even more weird because only the colliders on the sides work, and the colliders on the front don't. And yeah, that's just very bizarre, and I don't get why they set up like that at all. Like, yeah, that's just a very weird way to do it. But other than that, um, it's still really, really good and really quite functional arcade complex as far as I'm concerned. So, and also, Franny Fun Buns Pizza. Just, wanted to point that out. And already you got your first hint of this being the final part of the map that was actually built. Is number one, the use of coming soon signs and the fact that, all this was very structured out. Like, there was going to be something here, but then, the whole Sonic OO accusations happened and everything fell apart. And also, this entire space here. Like, there was clearly going to be something here, but then, everything happened and they couldn't put it in there. So it's very clear from that alone that there was gonna be some stuff here. There was gonna be, like stores, some something there, like there was actually gonna be like a lot of shit added to this world that did not get added just simply because the shit went down and all the accusations went down and everything that happened in between then and all that. So yeah. Another instance right here, and then that's a store I really need right now. An electronics store. And this empty lot even has a sign over it. So obviously they were gonna add some shit. In fact, they were gonna add lots of shit. Um, down down here, and unfortunately it never got through. With the Sleepy Sheep being one such store that I believe was gonna be a mattress store, and then it just never came to fruition because everything that happened. GB. Of which I only have 240 gigs left on my hard drive. Fuck me. I don't even know what the fuck this is. And then lots of signs right here. Oh! One at a time. The bunny, which I have to have. And then the store that I was talking about earlier. That once again never got made, unfortunately. And that is a Spencer's parody. I actually mean Vincent's, but you know. But yes, it's the internet famous store that is famous among the wider culture, the internet, the hell, the possibly the entire fucking universe. That, this actually reminds me of something that I saw a little while back. So, in case you guys weren't aware, what this is all way back in like May of 2022 or some shit, aka back before I was streaming even, and back when I really didn't have a whole lot of a career or job to speak of. Outside of being a failed game dev. Who failed largely due to financial constraints, by the way. My game did not fail to do anything else. But yeah, so there were these memes of Shadow walking into stores. And one of them showed Shadow walking into Spencer's, and everyone thought he was going to the back because in the back of Spencer's, you'll find a lot of shit, if you know what I mean by that laugh. But yeah, you'll find a lot of that shit. And wink wink nudge nudge is another way of putting it. Or snoo snoo, or whatever you want to use to symbolize that. But yeah, everyone thought it was going to the back, and thus there's just like a whole bunch of no, holy shit, what are you doing? Shit, there. It was just like I laughed my ass off. I ironically laughed my ass off for days at that. So yeah, there's quite a bit of shits around that store, and quite a few memes and whatnot. And I really wish it got completed here, but But no, Sonic Go had to ruin it all, unfortunately. So yeah, word in books. I wonder if there's a reference to that defunct, because a lot of them are kind of references sometimes, especially like Vincent's word in books, that sort of shit. So I wonder if there's a reference to that now bankrupt bookstore line, Borders Books. And and this is what they're referencing there. Damn, I used to really love that store. Oh, I know what this is a reference to. Gucci, but it's Mucci. I guess everything's Mucci here. Void. Mr. Jones. Not sure what that might be. And then we have another indication that a lot of shit was unfinished. I believe this was meant to be the entrance for a new part of the map collection that was coming out after this, but never actually came out, unfortunately, because again, everything that happened. Which one thing I will know about this is that it's very sad that this never really got completed in its entirety, and will probably never be completed, just simply due to the tainted legacy from what happened. Even though OO himself has left VRC due to being exposed for some really really bad shit. Um, so yeah, it's really quite sad. Especially because there was a lot of good ideas here. Like, there was a lot of creativity. There were a lot of good ideas. There was just, like this, like here's what separates Organism from Palm Plaza Mall. Organism, is just one idea. It's a guy researches some shit, fucks up the entire world. Um, the final experiment is deemed to be a failure after it massively damages the world, and he gets drunk and runs someone over and dies in the accident. So, like like that's just one big idea. And just like the story there is just very abstract, sure, and really quite sad when you think about it, or rather quite serious. And but it was just one idea and one concept thought of by one guy, that being Dr. Moreau, who on his own is a really good world developer, and I'd love personally I'd love for him to make me a world, because goddamn he's fucking awesome. But again, that's just it. It was just a trilogy of maps with one story and one big overarching theme. This, on the other hand, feels more like a mishmash of ideas from multiple people. It actually was, for the most part. So yeah, there and it was just like a really big combination of shit from all kinds of different sources, people, what have you. I do not know how he got stuck on there. And like there was just a lot of creativity, there was a lot of talent, there was a lot of ideas being put into it, but unfortunately it will probably never be finished, all because some guy who, yeah, he invented some really cool abbeys, but he also started a lot of conflict and basically ended up like Harmony Gold did over their licensing and control of said licensing of Macross, but only he ended up like them over the control of licensing and paranoid bullshit he was doing with the Finiavis. So yeah, but yeah, all because of him, everything's ruined, or at least this will never fully see the light of day, I guess. That's kind of sad, but even then, what we have right now is just really good. Even if it will not fully be complete, even if things will never be truly finished, it's still really good, and I still really enjoy it for sure. And here we have another repeating store that you really see quite often here, and that is the OEO, or is it dead? I don't fucking know. I just go back and forth between them. Fide, and then KPLM radio. You're listening to KPLM. Three Dog. I'm sorry. I always instantly think Fallout 3 when I think fucking, radio announcers, because there's just something about Three Dog and Galaxy News Radio that is just so iconic to the point where they even replicated it in Undertale Undernet Hub. Like if you listen to the radio closely there, well, in the older version of the world, that is. Recently, they've updated the version of the world that I currently have so that they no longer have it, which is a real fucking tragedy. But yeah, if you listen to my older stream, you can at least somewhat hear it. But Metaton, uh, or at least the voice they gave for Metaton in that world, was the exact same one that I don't think it was the exact same voice actor, but it was someone that sounded like him. Or at least, gave them the same fucking voice as Three Dog. Or a similar voice anyway. So yeah, it was just really it was just really fucking cool. Let's be honest here. But yeah, that's why I always think of that's why I always think of them when I think, radio announcers, because that is one that really sticks out in my mind. Only because it's been referenced multiple times throughout history, it's been recreated in certain ways, and everything else that's been going on with that. And this is another reference you'll probably get. This is Hot Topic, but okay, I already spoiled it. It's Hot Topic. May I say even more? One of these little art galleries. That's really fucking creepy. Now I want to go to the Forgotten Plaza Even fucking Glass. I mean, I know eventually I will have to bring it up, but at the same time, seeing this, I already am dreading doing it. Cyberpunk. That's actually another world. And one that I have not checked out yet, and that is Merritt Oaks Mall, I guess it's called. I am going to have to go check it out after stream and see how good it is before I could do a proper stream on it. There's some original concept art of Palm Plaza. Presumably, this is one of the unreleased ones that was gonna be slated for sometime later that year, but then everything went down. And there's the main plaza all lit up. Not sure what that's a reference to. Can't be Undertale because none of them are go. GameStop! I never fucking noticed that before. And oh my god, if it is actually GameStop down there, I am going to. I don't know what I will do. Because, yeah, GameStop has quite a history surrounding it. Let's just say that much. A history of its own that I will not get into in the stream. Or any stream. I am so not ready for because I know there's something really bad that happened at Forgotten Plaza, or Playtime Plaza as previously known. And even throughout earlier versions of the map, there was gonna be like a big reference that, there was something very wrong with that particular plaza. Again, not fully realized because, well, at this rate. I talk about them all the time. But, yeah, there was going to be something planned down there. And it was gonna get a lot darker. Than it already seemed. And oh, look, there's another store I need. What the fuck? How did they get multiple copies of my PC here? Those are old Dell Dimensions. Yeah, they're Dell Dimensions. And, so the big question is how they know what my PC looked like and how they, scanned the fucking game. Like how they actually do that. VR headsets. So we got some indexes and some quests. Notice I'm a cat piss covered Oculus Rift though. So, yeah. I just really love this world. Like, out of all the worlds, or all the world collections, rather, that, really define VRChat, there are only two that stand above the rest. Organism and Palm Plaza Mall. And, sure you might say, oh, well, Black Cat... Black Cat's a fucking... I have no nice things to say about Black Cat. Like, a long time ago I did, but as I started experiencing the culture in Great Pug and how much better that place was in that god awful hellhole. Well, let's just say that yeah, my nice things about Black Cat pretty much went away. All I have to say is the worst fucking words you'll ever fucking hear. Because my god, is that place just very unpleasant to be in. But yeah, two world collections stand above the rest. Palm Plaza and Organism. That being that, with Organism being like, the biggest world in VRChat, and Palm Plaza Mall being the overall best worlds of VRChat. Though they are my fourth favorite behind the Organism series because the Organism series, the Organism series just has better textures, better design, not as good lighting. I don't see any light probes in any of their worlds, but even then, like those are two worlds that stand, those are two world series that stand above the rest, and in all honesty, those are the two ones that I think really define VRChat. Uh, Palm Plaza just with just sheer technical achievements and just aesthetic, and Organism with also sheer technical achievements, but just sheer size. So yeah, that's the main thing there. God damn! Here you once again have more reference that, yeah, there was a lot more planned in this world. As, just from the way they look, you could tell that these lots were gonna be something. But then, all the shit happened and it was abandoned. Which is really tragic, but, you know. Goddamn, just for seeing this world, I'm getting so many cool world ideas of my own. Which again, with the current manpower I have and, um, the fact that I barely know any fucking map maker friends at all, I'm not sure if that will ever happen, but if it does, it'll be fucking awesome. But, I might speak about them in a later date. To be honest, I might speak about those ideas I have at least at a later date. And here, once again, you can see, the directory of all the parts that were completed so far. That being Memphis Village, Main Plaza, Starlight Plaza, Oasis, I believe, and then this thing here. Which, by the way, as we'll see in later streams, there is a good reason that was abandoned. And let's just say the lore around that particular part gets really fucked up. And apparently it gets a little Poppy playtime-ish at times. From what I can figure out. And certainly for the picture back there. So be ready for that. When it actually comes time to talk about that part. And once again, another door indicated that, there was gonna be something down here as well. But then, everything that happened. But, anywho. So, overall, this is a really good world for me to come back to. Just, not only because of, its historical significance and because of, just what it represents and all that, but also because like I just love this stack. I just love Palm Plaza. I just love, all this shit. And because, in all honesty, this is to be one of the best design maps I've ever seen. I mean, it is unfinished, for obvious reasons I did get into, but even then, it is still really, really good. And by far, by and large, one of the best maps I've seen in VRChat. Um, Overall, aesthetic and optimization wise, really well optimized. My frame rate is 60 FPS on this world at all times. I have never dropped below 60 FPS. And if it did look like it, it's probably because my OBS is just having issues for whatever reason. Yeah, it doesn't like VRChat that much. Go figure. But even then, I can still manage most of the time. But yeah, aesthetic wise and optimization wise, it's just yeah, it just tops the charts, especially with the vaporwave aesthetic. Like it's just really well done. It's just really well implemented, and it just looks very pleasant. Um, Now overall, like world layout and technical shit, really really well done. Um, Not only is the music very good, but also there is quite a bit of interactable shit around the world. And that alone is really, really excellent. Especially when you see stuff like this or like the pizza or like various other things that are just like very interactable, very good, and just some of the best like the best things or rather, the best implemented versions of such in any world I've seen. I mean, there are better versions, like ones that you could actually eat, but this is really solid as far as like implementation is concerned and all that. Um, and it's just really well done overall. And the devs really knew what they were doing, and they did very well. That's all I'm gonna say. So overall, the score still remains the same. It's still a 9.8 out of 10, like every other world in this series. Um, Granted, there are a few things that do make this one a little less than desired compared to the other versions of this map, like such as square or any of that. And that is just simply due to the fact that there is a lot of unfinished and missing shit and a lot of stuff that just wasn't implemented correctly, just simply due to everything that happening. And so yeah, there is some bad things about it, but even then, it's still really really well done. And I would say that you should definitely check this one out for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the stream. Now, as I said, um, due to the fact that my phone charger is dead, thus I cannot monitor my stream at all. I might not do any the rest of the week until I get my phone charger replaced and all that. And thus I will move what streams I don't do this week to next week, which might as well be all the ones all the ones the rest of the week, rest of this week anyway. Um, just simply due to the fact that I will have to literally buy a new charger, then wait for it to get here, and have to deal with all that. So yeah, that's pretty much my overall plan. However, even then, even despite this, I will still manage to at least I will still be very active on VRChat, and I will still be active on all the usual shit I'm active on. So you don't really have to worry about me being inactive at all. As again, I hardly do anything through my phone. At most, I just monitor streams, uh, occasionally text people and all that. But other than that, everything I do is through PC. So overall, for activity-wise, I will not be gone very long. And also one more thing, um, I might actually be getting my new model very soon. Um, yes, that's right. My new Abby might be coming a lot sooner than I think um, because I have a friend that could actually buy the God Revenger base, then send it to me to fix up. It does. I won't have to, throw away my own money, try to get it and get all that worked out and whatnot. So yeah. So in other words, the re-debut might be a lot closer than you were thinking. And also, there are a few other ideas that I might have coming up. So stay tuned for those. Especially world ideas if I find a world creator who I could be friends with. So, yeah, yeah. There's lots of exciting shit happening. I think it's gonna be really good. God damn it, Vixen. Old PC. But yeah, as I said, there's gonna be a lot of really exciting shit happening over the next few days. Whatever. I have a lot of plans. Let's just say some projects say Vixen, it's just a little while longer, Vix. Just hold out until then, alright? But yeah, as I was saying, before Vixen started acting up, and I don't know why Vixen's acting up right now. Because it's literally just 2 minutes later. This old computer, I'm telling you what's the truth. It's just such a quirky, unstable, wacky computer that just has so many fucking weird shit wrong with it. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, there's a lot of cool projects I have coming up. I got the new model, I got the whole rebrand, I got everything, coming very quickly, I might add. And even some new world projects that might actually be going forward this time, because I might actually find a world creator pretty soon who could, help me actually make them. But yeah, for now, I gotta get going. I can't stay here forever. You pretty much know the drill. And plus, my PC's being a little weird right now. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching this wonderful stream here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, week, whatever. And I'll see you all next week when I will probably my charger by then. So yeah, good night, everyone. Stay classy, everyone, and good night. And I'll see you all next week when I have my new charger and everything, all set up and configured. So yeah, see you there, everyone.